Cultivating Clarity podcast. My name is Daniel, your host, as always. My co-host joining me right now is Clayton Dunn. Clayton, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, I can't complain. A friend of mine asked me that this morning, and I reflected back to him. I think my words were like, I'm actually doing really good. Life's been kind to me recently.
What does that look like?
I don't know. It's just been
Awesome.
And I think that's really what it is. It's just like if I have good people in my life and I find time to spend time with good people, it usually ends up in, today was a pretty good day, even if it doesn't matter what we're doing.
Love that for you.
And I think it's just a reflection of what my social network is looking like right now at this point in my life and how that's showing up in my life.
I'm glad you have that.
Yeah. How about you?
Must feel nice.
No, it's been good. Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I submitted my 2 weeks at my job on Wednesday.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. And now I'm going to be pursuing this full time, which feels good because I feel like I don't have enough energy and time to really like focus on this, my passion and helping people, when I'm spending half of my day working on as an engineer at a company that I don't like working at.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that that's not going to be part of my life soon.
Yeah. And have you heard back of, like, in response to these are my last 2 weeks?
I just, I told them when my last day was.
Yeah, I suppose. It's not really a permission thing. It's more of a declaration.
Yeah. I mean, I said it to, like, in a meeting with my boss and his boss.
Yeah.
So, and then I sent a formal email to them both.
Yeah.
So they're aware.
Yeah.
Like, this is my last day.
I mean, that's good. That's got to feel like an exhale, and at least now there's like a light at the end of the metaphorical tunnel.
Yeah.
Or this like, it hasn't gotten here yet, but I imagine on that last day of work where it's officially your last day here, and then you wake up the next day and it's like, okay, first day of the rest of my life kind of energy.
Yeah.
And that can be pretty like potent. That can be momentum building.
It is. And I think back to when I had that panic attack that I ended up in the ER for.
Yeah.
And I had like a month off of work. I felt so free.
Yeah.
I felt so relaxed and so calm and able to enjoy my life in a way that I haven't been able to in a while.
Yeah.
Which, is pretty telling.
Yeah. Yeah. I made an Instagram post the other day that was kind of to that tune of like, I just feel like so many of us are lost. Like we don't really know what we're doing or where we're going or who we are. All of these things maybe. Mm-hmm. And what that results in for a lot of people is just kind of a tensity, like you're just kind of always in fight or flight, just always kind of scrapping to make do.
Yeah.
Or like chase that next thing that's going to make you feel a little bit better or whatever that looks like. And if you're allowed to give yourself some time and space to just step away from all of that and really get, slow and quiet and silent and take a break from your life that you don't like in a way, it allows something else to come and it allows that feeling to be rediscovered of like what this can feel like.
It's kind of like mindfulness, like meditation, right?
Yeah.
If you can just take that space, then suddenly your next step becomes apparent.
Yeah.
But when you're stuck in that rat race,
yeah,
stuck in whatever path you're on right now and that you don't like, then it becomes really hard to imagine the possibilities.
It really is, when you're quote unquote in that rat race, it really is fight or flight-esque. And you've been in it for so long that you don't really see it.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I can't explain. I'm trying to like picture the thought that I have in my head right now, which I'm unsure how clear it is just the difference in behavior that my dog displays when he's calm and when he's like, at a rested state versus when there's another dog nearby and he is agitated and he's in fight or flight.
Yeah.
He's like a completely different dog.
Absolutely. And that's how we are.
Yeah.
We're not immune to that.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, we have a nervous system just like any other animal.
Yeah.
And when our nervous system is activated, it becomes really difficult to think in terms of your higher order consciousness.
To think about anything that is going to help, anything more than right now.
Right. And I have been, before I was in that state constantly for years on end.
Yeah.
Like I was just in survival mode for years. And so I had no authority, autonomy over my own life.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I am making the choices that I want to make, I feel so much clearer, like lightened, calmer, more capable.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah. It's empowering, right?
It is.
And for me, how it looked and how it still looks is it's almost like you rediscover a feeling, like that feeling of safety or that feeling of calm or that feeling of peace or that feeling of joy. All of these feelings that you maybe forgot what they feel like.
Yeah.
But then once you rediscover it, it makes it easier to protect.
Yeah.
For such a long time, this kind of feels like it can transition pretty well to talking about, okay, we've now kind of found an opportunity or seized an opportunity to remove ourselves from that rat race, to remove ourselves from that fight or flight feeling. Maybe that's a privilege to find that space, however it shows up in your life. Now that you've experienced it, though, the real challenge is, how can I protect this feeling? How can I build a life in such a way that this is here more often? I know it wasn't what I was doing. That's for sure.
Right.
That's not the way forward.
Right.
And how that has looked for me now is I'm understanding boundaries way better than I ever have in my life, because I either was in a space for the previous part of my life where I didn't have the authority to set my own boundaries in my environment because they wouldn't be respected, or I didn't have the needs or feelings. I didn't know what I needed to protect. I wasn't aware of what I was supposed to be setting boundaries even for.
Yeah.
I didn't get the point of these things.
Yeah.
And now I'm almost excited to express a boundary. And I want to share a understanding of boundaries that I stumbled upon this morning. It started with the thought of how I originally pictured boundaries in my head. And that would be one where, let's paint the scenario of I am in public, I'm at the grocery store, and some person is expressing anger towards me and yelling at me. This hasn't happened, but this is, in my head it has, right?
Right.
The boundary that I would set in that situation is essentially communicating that I will not tolerate being communicated to in this way. That's disrespect. I'm not someone who allows someone else to yell at me. Period. That's a boundary.
Yeah.
And what I also realized then is that boundary has an other side of the coin, where instead of the purpose of the boundary being to protect me from some external energy that I don't want in my space, it would be to protect the people that I care about from that energy getting out of this space. So what I mean by that is I could now take that same boundary of yelling and expressing anger and say to someone that I really care about, I want you to always feel safe yelling at me and expressing anger towards me, and feel like you don't have to worry about me reacting to that anger and projecting it back onto you and it becoming this thing that's going to spiral out of control now in a heated argument. Now, I want to be clear. I won't allow you to be mean towards me with this expression of anger and yelling. I won't allow you to disrespect me. I won't allow you to hurt me with this anger and this expression. But it is allowed. You can be big. You can be expressive. You can be loud. You can yell. Just don't direct it at me in a way that could be potentially harmful for me.
Absolutely.
So it has me understanding boundaries into like a second layer now of like, oh, boundaries are both to keep some things out to keep you safe, but also to hold the container. It's the same thing. It's a container to keep the people around you safe and say that it's allowed for that to be expressed here. And I'm curious that's the first boundary that I've seen that dynamic with, because I just saw it this morning. And I'm now wondering, like, man, I wonder what other boundaries can present in that way, where it's like has both sides of the coin. I would imagine everyone now, every type of boundary. I just don't know that many boundaries. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I have an example.
Yeah, let me hear it, please.
Recently, I was talking to a friend and asking for support about some trauma that had come up from earlier in my life. And they were helping me in like kind of a typical way when people support you, and it's like trying to fix the problem for you.
Yeah.
Which does not work for me. I know what I need to do. I just want I want emotional support. I want a container.
Yeah.
I want a mirror. And so I told them, like, can I tell you how I would like to be offered support? And I told them, they heard me out, and they've been better about supporting me in the ways that I want to be supported. And I know that doesn't quite sound like a boundary, but it is kind of the same thing where you tell someone what you need.
Yeah.
That gives them an opportunity to do better for you.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel better about the relationship, which is the goal of boundaries.
It sounds like I hear it as a boundary. It's just like, hey, I have this like boundary that I would like you to build around me. Here's what I would like it to look. Here's how I would like you to be the boundary for me right now in this space. I would like you to hold this space in this way for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of more of an ask, though, right?
For sure.
But
what does the other side of that boundary look like? How does that one show up and it also keeps something out to keep me safe, to follow the theme of, do you understand what I'm at?
Yeah. So my dad has a tendency to diminish my experience, tell me what he thinks I should do, which really bothers me.
Yeah.
And I don't want that from any of my friends or family. And so by saying, this is what I need, this is how I want to be supported, I'm also disallowing being lectured like my dad used to do to me. And so I am protecting myself, and I'm getting support the way I want it.
Yeah.
And that also gives them the opportunity. They know what not to do that's going to like frustrate me, and they can make me feel supported.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is you are responsible for creating your own experience kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Of like, if you want something in your life to look a certain way, you are the one responsible for teaching the people in your life to show up how you would most prefer them to show up for you, so that you can have that experience.
Yeah.
And the hard part about that one is there's a chance that some people in your life won't be able to show up for you in the way that you would need someone to show up for you. And you have to make that choice of, do I want someone like this in my life now that I'm knowing what I know about myself and what I need from a relationship?
Yeah, and that's caused me to need to cut out a few people. I had this one friend that I've known for 10 years, and now that I know more about myself and what I want, I realized that our dynamic was not something I wanted in my life.
Yeah.
And so I tried setting a boundary, like, if we're to remain friends, this is what I would need from you. And he was not willing to be that for me.
Yeah.
And so he kind of ended the friendship over it. I was willing to work on things, but I mean, if he isn't willing to be that for me, then it's not someone I want in my life anyway. I'd rather use that energy and time that I was dedicating to someone that was bad for me and channel it into my work or other people in my life that make me feel supported and happy and energized.
Yeah.
Rather than drained.
Yeah. As we've been speaking, I kind of had the like, image in my head of like, oh yeah, we're all just kind of like building this aura around us that filters what energy we do and don't allow in.
Mm.
Like there are certain behaviors and interactions and energies that I'm realizing I actually really enjoy having in my life. So I'm going to allow those through. I'm also realizing there are a lot that I don't enjoy that I've experienced a lot in my life, like pettiness and competition that's unhealthy and argument that is unhealthy. Like that was such a main part of my social dynamic as a young person. And now I don't really engage in that. Maybe there are times where it's not something that I won't allow in or won't not allow in. Like I won't shut it down if it's in my space, but I won't perpetuate it.
Yeah.
I won't engage in it. I won't be the one that is putting energy towards continuing that behavior.
You're not going to perpetrate it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's when you recognize that you have that control, that ability to shape your life in that way and to shape your relationships in that way, it can be very like empowering, and
so empowering.
You just want to figure out more and what else do I want to set as bound, like it's really just figuring yourself out. It's discovering yourself is what it is.
Absolutely. And it applies to everything in your life.
Yeah.
Like the places you go to, the people you hang out with, like not only relationships, what your home looks like, how it makes you feel. Everything is an input. Everything is a stimulus that you need to understand and curate.
Yeah. Yeah, you're responsible for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is nobody is going to make you feel okay.
So as I said, responsible there in that situation, it kind of was like, oh, wow, we actually have a lot that we're responsible for in our own personal lives in figuring out what it is that we want and don't want, et cetera, et cetera. And we have all been shaped in such a way that we just take on everyone else's shit as our responsibility before our own.
Right.
Like,
how can you even discover what your own responsibilities and needs are if you're too busy worrying about everybody else's?
Yeah. Yeah. Managing other people's emotions or their responses or what they feel comfortable with or uncomfortable with, and only allowing out your certain expressions or behaviors or words that you know aren't going to make them uncomfortable. Man, that is a lot to manage.
No pressure.
No pressure, right? No pressure, though. And at the end of the day, that leaves like 10% of your space for yourself to figure that about yourself.
Yeah, you have no more reserve.
Yeah.
You're tapped.
So I think like a revelation, a turning point, a recognition point is when, for me, I stopped feeling the need to be responsible for the people in my lives' reactions.
Yeah.
Not that I don't care about them, because I think a lot of people hear that. They hear, oh, you don't care how I feel? No, I care about you, how you feel.
I've gotten that response many a time.
Yeah.
When I've just tried, like, no, it's not personal. It's not about you. It's about how this is making me feel. This situation is making me feel.
Yes. Yes.
But it's so difficult for people to, especially when they're not used to boundary setting, to comprehend that it's not personal.
Yes.
Because everyone else around them has made it personal.
And it's not personal because this isn't something that I'm asking of you right now. I am. And I ask this of everyone. This is a rule of mine in relationship.
Yeah, period.
And if you don't like that, if that makes you uncomfortable, if that hurts your feelings in a way that you can't handle that experience because you just can't handle being uncomfortable, I'm not responsible for that.
Right. And it's unfortunate because maybe that means you have to end a relationship that you cared about.
Yes.
But do you want that relationship long term if that's how it's making you feel?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I used to think I did.
Yeah.
You know, I have a hard time sharing some of these thoughts and emotions and ideas, because I can sometimes feel like I'm coming off as a cold person, where I'm now gravitating more towards the perspective of like, especially friendships, relationships. I'm sorry, but people can be kind of expendable. Like, I have a certain mold of human that I would like to be in my life. I would like them to look, or not look, but I would like them to show up in a certain way.
Yeah.
Maybe those are my quote unquote expectations. Maybe there are my needs, both. But I used to really be someone who thought that they were loyal in their friendships. And I think that loyalty kept me stuck for a long time because I was being loyal to friendships that weren't good for me.
Right. I think having high expectations for relationships has a really bad rap.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't.
No.
There are 7 billion people on this planet, and you're going to latch on to this one person that makes you feel like shit? Why? Because there's somebody probably in the same town as you that you'll meet.
Yeah.
If you just give it a couple months with the space from not being in this relationship, that you'll meet, and they'll meet more of your needs than you're used to, and be like, oh, wait, this is my new standard now.
Yeah.
And it does cause you to look at a lot of, every time you find a new standard, you have to look at your existing relationships.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you have to have a conversation.
Yeah. It'd be like, I'm going back through my checklist, my retroactive log of my relationships.
Yeah.
And 3 of them are highlighted in yellow as could use an update.
You
know, my phone's
totally.
telling me these relationships need a software update.
Yeah, totally.
They're out of alignment.
Out of alignment.
Now, that doesn't mean I'm ready to cut them out. That just means, like you said, a conversation's needed.
Yeah.
And for people that are meant to be in your life and care about you, oftentimes they're willing to have a conversation and they're willing to change in a way that will make your life better for you.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they won't.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's right. And that's okay.
It might hurt. It might suck for a while. But at the end of the day, if it protects your peace, that's what's important. You mentioned something about loyalty.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that loyalty is a good thing up to a point.
Right.
I am very warm and loyal to my friends as long as they reciprocate it.
Yeah.
And that's been my new centerpiece around which I form my relationships lately. It's reciprocity.
Balance.
Balance and reciprocity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's caused me to look at some friendships like, whoa, why am I the only one putting an effort into this?
Yeah.
And so then I just stop.
Yeah.
And then I don't hear from them again. And if they would have reached out at any point, then I'd have, welcomed them with open arms, but they haven't. And that's enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste my energy and my mental capacity trying to force a friendship that isn't for me.
Yeah. I've been kind of, I think, in that similar theme. Something that's been really alive for me right now in my relationships that is new for me is I now have found the ability to discern the difference between what someone is telling me and how they're showing up.
Yeah.
What are their words saying versus what is their behavior saying?
Yeah.
And for most of my life, I don't know that I was able to see the latter. And I could hear what their words were telling me, and that's kind of where my processing stopped. And if their behavior was much different than that, I almost didn't register it.
It's way easier to pay attention to the words than it is to pay attention to behaviors.
Yes. And once you start looking at people's behaviors, how they show up versus what they say, some people you'll find there's not much of a difference actually. They're pretty in alignment. They're pretty authentic. They try to not say things that they can't embody. Some people tell you one thing and are something entirely different.
Yeah. And that's been friendships that I've had to end as well.
Yeah.
Relationships too.
Yeah.
Is, oh, I'm sorry, I'll work on this. And then they never do.
I think that's when it comes to romantic relationships or like intimate relationships, relationships where there's romantic involvement there, I lost where I was. What did you just say?
I was talking about being in a relationship and someone saying that they're going to change.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's hard in those situations because most of the time, one person or partner will honestly mean what they're saying. They would like to be different for you. They'd like to be the version of you you would like them to be because they want to be with you. But they don't recognize, and likely you don't recognize, that it's possible they're just incapable of being that version of themselves right now. It is so challenging to change ourselves. It's not any easier to change yourself for someone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really hard.
And change often requires like a major issue to be part of the experience, right? And so if they aren't motivated to change for their own reasons, then they're not going to.
Yes.
And that reason might be they want to be with you, but sometimes that's not enough.
Right?
And they just won't. Or they'll try and give up.
They just can't.
They can't.
They can't, and that's okay. But those, I think, are the most difficult ones to identify because there's so many other things in the way.
Yeah.
Preventing you from seeing it or tracking it.
Yeah, and there's so much emotional attachment to this person, especially if you've been with them for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult to make the choice to separate what you know could be better.
Yeah.
If you know this relationship could be better, if only this one thing changed about this person, it's not going to work.
Yeah. The if only, it's so close though. If only.
Yeah, this person is the perfect partner for me, but.
Yeah, careful with that word, but, right?
Yeah.
It brings me to the theme of selfishness. Because I think that's one of those terms, one of those qualities about ourselves that has been so demonized.
Yeah.
When there's actually a healthy amount of it needed in our lives sometimes. And it's still one that gets misunderstood. And kind of like we said earlier with, I think it was maybe being picky or having high expectations with relationships or someone telling you that you don't care about their feelings because you're setting boundaries. It's because that person has been fed such a black and white version of that word, that language. Mm-hmm. If you can only see selfish as something that is bad, you are going to be incapable of embodying the healthy amount of it that might be required to take care of yourself in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're always afraid or incapable of allowing yourself to step away from a relationship that's not good for you because you're afraid that that's going to be making you selfish. Man, I'm just selfish because I want to take care of myself. I think that's a real fear for people.
It is.
I kind of have the fear sometimes, afraid that someone's going to perceive me as selfish in a bad way when I know that this is what's best for me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to live my life in such a way now that I'm really most focused on what's best for me right now.
Yeah. And I think what a lot of people will find if they start being selfish is that they meet people where you being selfish is also beneficial for them in a way.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with, not the people that are offended by your existence.
Yeah. The thing about these traits, the thing about these behaviors like selfishness and boundary setting, things that might be perceived as uncomfortable for other people. They're also things that if you can't embody in a healthy way, that's like a lead by example situation for other people in your lives, other relationships where if you communicate something that is going to be maybe received as you being a little bit selfish, it's possible that that person receives that, sees, oh wait, I thought this was them being selfish, but actually I kind of like that they're doing this. I'm going to start doing this too. And it's just a way to try and, just by following what is best for you, you can give gifts to other people because they might also learn to do so for themselves.
Boundaries are gifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how a lot of people move forward in terms of growth, is by somebody setting a boundary. And maybe that helps them become a better person, or it helps them identify that that's something they want as well.
Yeah.
Like you and I, at one point you had mentioned that you would like to set a boundary that text conversations are not something that you typically enjoy, and you want to focus our communication more on in-person conversations or even phone calls.
Yeah.
And ever since then, that's something that I've been wanting as well.
Yeah.
And so I've been advocating for that in my other relationships.
Yeah.
And that's been a lot more satisfying.
In that specific scenario, that's a great example because I didn't want to set that boundary with you. I was afraid to set that boundary. I thought it was, I don't know, I didn't know how it was going to be received. So on the other side of that, from my experience, because this was me exploring boundary setting for myself. On the other side of that, from my experience, it was like, oh, not only was this not received poorly, this person's extremely grateful that I set this boundary.
Yeah.
It brought something to the table for them in their life as well. Wow. How incredible is that?
Right. There's another thing too, is when someone sets a boundary, rather than keeping their behavior under the surface, like sweeping it under the rug, that lets you know that they're invested in the relationship and they're not building up resentments for something they're not willing to tell you about.
Yeah. They care enough to create a new rule here.
Right. And I am more than happy to adjust to some new rules for somebody I care about. But if I'm just blindsided by a sudden lashing out because someone wasn't willing to communicate sooner, that sucks.
Every relationship is just you and another person co-creating something together. Imagine if you're creating a new, let's say, game together. Just picture children on the playground making some meaningless game, right? Everybody's allowed to propose a new rule if they think that there's something that they could bring to this game that would make it more fun or more fair or more balanced. Everyone's allowed to be like, hey, what if we, I don't know, what if we didn't text that often actually? And what if we saved all of our connection and all of our relationship building moments to be something more personal when we're together?
Yeah.
That just feels like that'd be way better for me. What do you think about that?
It was great for me.
And I think that's how all relationships can be viewed. Like, you are responsible for making this what you want it to be. You are responsible for creating the container, creating the rules, creating the language, however works best for you, that makes this relationship feel best for you.
Absolutely.
Period.
I think there's a lot of value in picturing relationships as a separate entity.
The person that you're in relationship with, or the relationship itself as a whole being a separate entity?
So there's you, there's the person you're in a relationship with, friends, family, loved ones, whatever.
Yes.
And then there's also your relationship.
Okay, how do you picture that in your head as a separate entity?
Just like that.
Yes, of course. Now I get it.
But no, why I think that's beneficial is, so, I mean, you can literally think of there's three people here. Kind of like how companies are seen as people in the U.S.
Yes. An entity, yes.
An entity, yes. So the relationship is an entity. And that makes it really way simpler to, take the personal attacks out of it. Because it's not about you or me, it's about how can we make this relationship work better for both of us? How can we make this relationship succeed? And by thinking about it as a separate entity rather than the other person, that's a very, very personal. There's a lot of opportunity to be defensive or aggressive.
Yeah.
And when you focus on, I want to make the relationship better, then both people feel included and are on the same team
What if you were in a relationship with someone who has that mentality of, I'm just trying to make the relationship better, but it's becoming apparent that everything that they want to quote unquote make this relationship better is an ask of you. They're asking something different. Like they'd like you to show up in a different way to make this relationship better.
I think that it depends on what the ask is, right? Like if it's a boundary that they need to feel comfortable in a relationship, that's one thing. If it's just an endless sea of asks from you,
Yeah.
that is inappropriate.
Yeah.
That's weaponizing. That's weaponizing the
Manipulating.
relationship. It's manipulative.
Yeah.
It's kind of like people that weaponize language from therapy or weaponize their therapist's words, use it to get what they want.
People do that?
Yes,
Yo.
they do. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
I
I'm just kidding. You don't have to. I mean,
different episode.
I'm a good listener, so when you tell me something, if I get a command like ask me how I know, it's coming back, baby.
You got a cue.
Yeah, that's right. No, yeah, that's interesting. It does help, right? It does help give the context that this is what we're co-creating.
Yeah.
Like this entity, we're building this entity together.
Yeah.
You and I both have say in this. We both can do our best to try and make it something we both want. It makes both of us happy. And it's really hard.
Relationships are hard.
Relationships are so hard.
They're never meant to be easy.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people have this misconception that if I find the right person, the relationship will be easy. It will not.
It can be.
It can be easier.
A relationship can be easy if you're willing to be, if you're willing to suffer and be shallow and just like, you know, I feel like I can picture a lot of relationships in my head where it's like their relationship is we each go to work for 8 hours a day. We come home, we eat dinner together where maybe we do or maybe we don't talk that much. When we are talking, it's how was your day? We then watch TV together. We then go to bed. And we do that 365 days a year.
Ad nauseum.
And that's really easy, actually.
If that's what each person wants,
yes.
Sure. Genuinely. If that's what each person genuinely wants. Yeah. But I feel like a lot of people want more and don't know that they want more.
Yeah.
Or don't know that they can ask for that.
Yeah.
And so many people stay in these awful relationships for them for decades.
Yeah.
And then one person cheats or something, right?
Finally, right?
Because they've been so deeply unhappy for years, they've wanted more but can't communicate it.
Yeah.
And so they betray this other person because they can't handle it anymore.
I think almost even more, like even adding to all of those scenarios is also the one where someone recognizes that they want more, but they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I want more than this, but I don't know what it is about this that I don't want or that I want to change, or I don't know what I'm missing. Like, trying to figure out our own needs and wants is one, really challenging on its own, and two, even more challenging if you're in this environment that you've been for 10 years.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like settled in and kind of like stuck a little bit.
The only way out of that is presence and thinking.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're spending every night watching TV or YouTube or playing something on your phone, you're not going to have the capacity or space to be able to think this through.
Yeah.
So you need to create the presence for it. You need to turn your phone off. You need to turn the TV off. You need to lock yourself in a room with a notebook.
Yeah.
Essentially. And write it out.
Figure it out. Yeah.
And I think that it goes back to the rat race for me, right? Like so many people, they're so drained at the end of the day, all it feels they can do is watch TV or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have to consciously make another choice. And that's so hard.
I mean, what was it? Is it Einstein? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. Like, just do something different.
Anything.
You have to change something.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know what the right thing to change is, it doesn't matter. Change something. Like,
Yeah.
just pick something. Add something new. Take away something. I don't know.
I like conceptualizing this as intentional randomness.
Oh,
Yeah. Like inviting random into your life.
a little bit of chaos.
A little bit of chaos. So maybe that means you go to a meetup event to learn tango, or you, I don't know, randomly go to the park and just sit on a swing for a while.
Yeah, you join a jiu-jitsu gym on the whim, you know?
Yeah, totally.
You just add something to your life that you haven't had in your life before and see how it feels.
Yeah, and when you, chances are when you go to these things, sometimes it'll suck. Sometimes you won't like it.
Yes.
And other times it will open an entire universe of new possibilities for you.
Yeah.
So expansive.
Yeah.
And you don't know until you try. And this has been something that I have struggled with a lot in my life is I would never try new things because I was too afraid that it wouldn't be worth my time.
Yeah.
And then because I was afraid of that, I didn't do any of it. And so I was stuck in the same place for years. As soon as I started getting out of that mindset and forcing myself to be uncomfortable, forcing myself to try out new things, that's when my life opened up.
Yeah. Once you started living.
Once I started living.
You know, the secret to life is living.
Secret to life for me, I think, is chaos.
It could be, right? It just like, it's too... I know for myself, it's really easy for me to stay comfortable. That if I find comfort, it's kind of dangerous. It can be a little sticky for me and really prevent my life from expanding, prevent me from growing.
Yeah.
So by having the mindset of I'm going to intentionally seek something out that makes me uncomfortable, it's just super helpful. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it other than it's been really beneficial for me to try and live in that mindset.
Yeah. I mean, focusing on comfort can only get you so far.
Yeah.
Comfort is valuable to a point.
Yes.
And it's something that you can optimize for yourself. I talk about this in a YouTube video I made recently about making your space more comfortable and how that can support you throughout your life. But when you surround yourself with when you only try and be comfortable and you sacrifice everything else in your life for it, then you just kind of rot a little bit.
Yeah. I think the kids these days are calling that rot. I go home and I rot. Is that a thing?
I think so.
That's okay.
They say brain rot.
Yeah. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. The kids these days. How am I supposed to know what they're saying? I don't have any kids. I was thinking about that concept of when you go out and try something new in your life, sometimes it's going to be not that great.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might feel like this was a complete waste of my time. I would have been better off just sitting at home. If anyone here has played baseball is the analogy at the top of my head, but I feel like almost any racket sport like golf, tennis, softball, anything where you're hitting something, baseball is the best example though. Striking out and not getting a hit when you're up to bat, it kind of sucks. It doesn't feel that great. It can be a little uncomfortable, but when you do get a hit, it feels good. So if you're always too afraid to go up to swing the bat because you're afraid that you're going to strike out, you'll never have the opportunities to actually get the hits, and hits feel good, man. Let alone whenever you happen upon a home run. You're definitely not hitting a home run if you're not up to bat.
Celebrate swinging the bat.
Yes. That's progress. That's learning.
And you will fail.
Yes.
There is no avoiding it. You will fail no matter what you do.
However, the beautiful thing about humans is we learn subconsciously. We learn on autopilot without realizing it. Yeah. Through these failures, you are learning things and you are getting better in ways that you don't even realize.
Yeah. I remember talking to you about like showing you the first video I shared on social versus the last one I shared.
Yeah.
And how different they felt.
Over like a 10-day span.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I was trying, I was failing, I was making mistakes, and then something clicked for me. And you don't get to that point where something clicks unless you keep trying.
Yeah.
If I just gave up after that first video kind of was like meh, then, where would I be?
I can speak really personally to that experience because it just happened to be that there are a lot of things in this life that I'm pretty good at right away. So that made it such that it was really easy for me to walk away from something that I was meh at, being like, oh, this just isn't for me. I'm not good at this. Because there
Gifted kid syndrome.
Because there are so many things that I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be the best person right away. And I maybe never will be the best. But I do know that if I pick this up and you pick this up for the first time, I'm feeling pretty confident that I'm going to learn this pretty fast and be pretty good at this. Unless I'm not. And then I guess this isn't for me. And that's something that I had to change in my life too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I always had good grades in school. That was just kind of my, I don't know what it was.
Default.
But default, sure. And so after I graduated, I had this story that if I didn't succeed at it, then there was something wrong with me.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a pretty intense perfectionism to where if I wasn't doing whatever this thing was perfectly from the very first moment I tried it, then it's not something I should be doing.
It's hard because it can be really easy to see how that can make sense.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to like break out of or notice even.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
And it's not like the society makes that easy for that to not be built.
And being bad at something sucks. Learning is hard.
It is.
Struggling and failing at something that you don't always need to be doing. You're here because you want to be here. You're choosing this. I'm choosing to show up and fail here. I'm choosing to show up and struggle. That is hard.
It is.
It doesn't matter how often you do it either. Like, I think about going to the gym and I think about that, like, working out is hard. Lifting weights is hard. And if you're someone who goes to the gym and you've been going for 10 years, your whole life, it never gets any easier. It's still really hard to lift weights and to exercise. You've just gotten more used to it. It's become routine. Your tolerance for that level of challenge has grown, or
Your resilience.
Your resilience. Your life experience has shown you that you can handle this no matter how hard it feels. Yes, It's hard. It always is, and we're always fine.
And something I've learned, something I've heard from others too, is that living your life with the goal of happiness is not going to make you happy. Yeah. Happiness is almost like choosing which problems you want in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You're choosing going to the gym. You're choosing this new career. You're choosing to learn Spanish, let's say.
Yeah.
And it is not going to be easy.
No.
You chose a difficult road.
Yeah.
But it's way better to be on a hard road you chose than one that you didn't.
I'm choosing to try and figure out what boundaries are going to make my life happier. I'm choosing to look at my own behaviors. I'm choosing to look at my relationships and try and determine what I like and what I don't like, and which ones I want to keep in my life and which ones feel like they're not meant for me anymore.
Right.
That's also not easy.
And that making that choice means you're no longer acting like a victim.
Yeah.
And if you can make these choices and not take everything as though the world's out to get you, because it's not, you're taking your power back. And it's letting you make the life that you want, and all you had to do was make a choice. Choices that you can make.
You always can. We can always make choices.
Right.
There's consequences and repercussions for every choice.
Right.
That doesn't mean you can't make it.
And it doesn't mean you shouldn't make it.
Right. I was driving yesterday, and I was driving out to the mountains, and it's a stretch of road that I'm unfamiliar with. So I find myself like in the right lane of 2 lanes coming up to an intersection where I need to be turning left. So I need to get across 1 lane and then into the left turn lane that's just appeared. And traffic's not going very fast, and it's not that busy actually. There's no one in my lane, but the left lane's a little bit full. So I put my blinker on and I pull off in front of someone who they had to slow down because I pulled in front of them, and there was a red light coming up, so they would have had to slow down anyways. And this person's like really upset with me. They're honking and their horn at me, and I can see like a middle finger out the window. And there was a version of me not long ago that probably would have felt bad, probably would have taken some of that interaction on and internalized it. And now I think my reaction was I laughed. I think I smiled at the fact that I just find it hilarious that somebody can get so upset over something like this. It's almost comical. Like the way that this person's reacting in this situation is so unnecessary, and it's so out of alignment with what's actually happening in their reality. Like,
It's never about the car thing. It's always something unhappy with their life
yeah,
that's where they can release some of their anger.
yeah,
And people that have kind of a fulfilled life are able to just kind of like, oh, well, that sucks.
yeah.
And then move on.
Man, hey buddy, I hope that your day gets better. To whoever that was yesterday behind me in the red car, I don't quite remember the make or model, but I hope your day got better after that, and you felt better after honking at me and screaming and middle finger. It didn't impact my day at all, but I hope it helped yours.
Look, I was in a car accident 3 months ago, and my car is still in the shop.
Love that for you.
And I love driving. It's a sports car. It's a Miata. I love driving it.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to for 3 months in the middle of summer, which sucks.
And a very picturesque fall here in Denver, Colorado.
For sure. And yeah, that sucks. And when the accident happened, that was my reaction. Like, ugh, this sucks.
Yeah.
I feel like I had enough stability in my own life to where I didn't need to lash out at this person who had just made a mistake.
Yeah.
And yes, it sucked. It really sucks that I had to get rides and bike places when I would have otherwise taken a car, and also a car that I really enjoyed driving. And there was no point in getting angry about it.
It wouldn't have helped anything.
No, and it wouldn't have like made the car accident not happen. It wouldn't have made the car get fixed any faster.
Yeah.
It's just a form of acceptance.
I want to go back to a timeline quick because I'm curious where the car accident and the panic attack fit together on a timeline.
The car accident was July 2nd, and the panic attack was July 18th.
Okay. They're pretty close.
They are.
And you and I are both reading The Alchemist right now.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning of that book, when our main character first gets to Africa, someone steals his money.
Yeah.
Right? Which ended up redirecting him onto his path.
Yes.
And I am now so aware of these things that happened to you at this time that in an isolated viewing lens are pretty shitty things. Pretty challenging and uncomfortable things that feel like they both directly led to you having time away from work and realizing that your life needed to change in a big way.
Yeah, my car accident was the best thing that happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
As was the panic attack.
Yes.
And I know that sounds crazy to say, but to a lot of people, but when you are forced to change that way, it points out some things in your life that you're unhappy about. And things that you would have been content keeping exactly as they were had something not forced you to look at them.
So all of you sitting at home right now, listening wherever you may be, in your commute, whatever. When something bad happens to you in life, I'm air quotes here, when something quote unquote bad happens to you in life, challenging or otherwise, can you find your center, take a deep breath, take a step back, and get curious about why is this happening and what good is coming of this? Because I think that in almost every scenario of our life, the good can be found if we look for it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just letting this event that already happened, there's nothing you can do about it now, it already happened, and allowing that to just spiral you into anger or grief or frustration or whatever. It's the way I like to live my life anyways, or the way I try to live my life. I can't say that I'm successful in doing so every time, but that's what I try to do.
Trying is enough.
Trying's all you have.
Yeah. Again, that goes back to perfectionism. You can't always do exactly what you want to do. However you react is valid.
Yeah.
You are responsible for the consequences of how you react, but how you react is valid.
Yeah.
And I think just going towards that direction of being a little bit more accepting of your circumstances helps you change it in a way that's actually going to make your life more satisfying.
Yeah. All right. This happened. Now what?
Now what?
I've accepted that this has happened. This person that I loved is no longer in my life. I need to accept that. I've accepted it. Now what? Now it's forward. I said that in a very simple way, and that act of someone leaving your life or whatever the event may be can be a much more drawn out scenario of acceptance, where that acceptance really trickles in over the next maybe 6 months, 12 months. But acceptance is so important.
It is unavoidable.
Yeah.
Either you accept it and you choose to accept it, or the world will make you accept it over however long timeline it feels you need.
Yeah.
And just make the choice.
Yeah. Try. Just try to make the choice. Make an effort. You don't have to result in achievement. You don't have to result in success. You don't have to result in perfection. Try. That's exactly what this podcast is right now. Is you and I just trying. Yeah. Just trying to figure this out because we both want to do this. We both feel like this is something that we're meant to do or something that we're capable of providing. We think that we have value to offer. So we're just trying.
We're trying to help others.
Just see what happens. Let's just try. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be the best thing you've ever heard, the highest quality you've ever heard, the best video you've ever seen, and we're still doing it.
And that's enough.
That's all we can do. So I'm proud of me. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us too.
Yeah.
Feels good.
I'm proud of you, the listener, too, for whatever reason. You find the reason for me to be proud of you. That's it.
I'm proud of you too.
There you go. Anything else alive for you right now? Anything else new in your life?
I feel like I want to take some deep breaths with the listener.
Let's do that. I could use some myself.
And then I think this is a good time to wrap up.
Great. Okay, so we're going to start wrapping this up. Thank you for listening to our episode today. Clay is going to lead us in some nice closing breaths here to try and ground this experience and just get us on our way for the good rest of our day.
All right. Let's close our eyes. Well, not if you're driving. Don't do that. If you're sitting at home, close your eyes and just take a deep breath in through your nose. One more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Any closing words?
I hope you heard something in the podcast today that is resonant with you. that is something that you can either realize, oh, dang, I'm already doing this. I feel good about that. Or, oh, you know what? I think I'd like to try and make an effort to do more of that. So I hope all of you found something to take home. I'm really appreciative of those last couple breaths. I don't do that enough in my life, slowing down intentionally and just shutting the hell up and breathing for a little bit.
It's important.
All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.